master student of architecture. My topic is about the theory of architecture, new technological ecosystems, changing perception towards architecture. Do you ever get that impression that interaction with the younger generation getting trickier as the world changes? In my, experience during our design courses, or you faces a lot more than us, connection with them, interaction with them is getting quite hard because their perception and their behavior is totally different from our perspective. We utilize ourselves to understand their perception and using new technological advancement to connect with their, generation, like application, mobile devices, and everything. But there is still a big gap between this generation with the older generation. So, that's point, I will ask my question with this generation difference between us and between the next generation and right now. Because their perception is totally different, and we saw them to understand their design, even not design studio, even their usual life is totally different from us. And we get into the 4 point, like we start asking question like, there is a difference, and what is the difference? And I did get this point, like their growing way is totally different than us. So they born with the internet era, and they growing with these kind of advantages, I couldn't say that, sorry, technological environment, and their perception is need to be different from us. So I will explain today to my thesis to basic ways to understand what I'm gonna try to approve or not approve to show you this perception difference and the behavior difference of the new generation. We will start with the human-computer interaction, and we come into the digital natives, which is I will explain to what it is digital natives, but basically this is the new generation of the young people. And the technological environment and ecosystems, and their connection with video games. So human-computer interaction. With the innovation of the computer in 80s, we start this area, which is new area, which is we interact, we socialize, we use this system as our social and the professional lives. We use them to entertain us, we use them to socialize, communicate, and help us during our daily life basis. But there is a new specific generation which is born to this new technological era. And their activities and their growing way is totally different from us. For the Mark Persky, which is first time using digital natives in 2001, explained that this is mean native speakers of the internet era. Sorry, I always say area, I think. Internet era. So there, and Persky says this new generation is brains is different than the other generation, and we need to understand their changes. And the human-computer interaction of the internet era has moved the communication of the new level, and it has begun to create a new technological environment ecosystems. We already understand that we using this area, but we don't understand that we getting that area which is intangible space. We communicate, we explore our 3D virtual reality and socialize in that ecosystems. And this ecosystem is extent of the real world and includes physical and psychological appearance. And this is interaction change our even social, cultural to economics and another topics in our lives. So we again come to our digital natives, which is born this environment and perceive this new technological ecosystems, which is without the boundaries and the limitations. Those ecosystems, again, the computers are interact with us, showing us their, using our senses. We already seen it, their virtual reality equipment, like VRs and everything is changing. They become more realistic in the future. We know that, but still we know that computer-based this technological environment using our sound and the touch, and this is have effect on the human behavior, especially the new generation. And we come in this point. This technological environment is such a wide spectrum. So we need to take the particular space to examine those new technological ecosystems and examine those digital natives. So the most common points of the interaction is the video games. Is the same time has an interaction with the architecture. We specific realistic or real context in the video games, and there is a cultural interaction, human interaction, and at the same time is virtual reality as contain the old and new technological ecosystems into the video games. And there is a lots of platforms such as Roblox, Epic Games, Nintendo, Ubisoft, and Blizzard Entertainment, and those games using our new generation and our new digital natives, and then there examine those video games, maybe define them to their form video games, define video games by form, cultural, historic, realistic values, and those things. We will get to the understanding of the new generation how they perceive the space. Within the technological environment expanding, the new generation digital natives changing perception and how they influence their behavior and physical world, and the digital native changing decision making is a matter of question in architecture. So examining those, and this point I will come to my thesis, method of the study, and what I'm gonna do, examine those students and how I'm getting the effective solution of the video games. Literal review of technological ecosystems and virtual environment, especially connection between the architectural and the put-in territories of the games, and the qualitative and the quantitative method gonna use on the Generation Z architecture students. And at this point, I'm coming to my limitation, which is I need the put those students and a limitation to understand their behavior. So we limited our Generation Z to 291, 292 architecture design students, and in our schools, and they're gonna be familiar with the gaming territory and the aim and the objectives. And my aim already, give you the explanation about that, but I want to give the last, analyze the behavior pattern of the digital natives who are born in this technological environment ecosystems towards the architecture. And this is my objective of the question of the thesis is gonna be what the sort of perceptual impact does the technological ecosystem is, especially gaming territories, have on the Generation Z and digital natives. What correlation exists between the gaming territories and the architecture in terms of space perception in a tangible and intangible manner, affection of the visualization and the imagination and the representation in design. What are the challenges and the advantages of the Generation Z architecture students having experience at the gaming territory in design? And thank you for listening to me. This is my references and end of the